Welcome back to our podcast about the founding of KMG. I'm your host, Bhatia, Director of Corporate Affairs at KMG. Thanks for agreeing to be our guest again, Mom.
Thank you, Gauri.
So, as per our discussion last week, those early years really set the standard for who Dad was as a person. Hardworking, yet fun-loving, loves to travel. So, alongside those great memories of your early years together, you could see a dream taking shape. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, very well, Gauri. Subhash was working in IBM, and whenever he used to talk to the clients, they would talk to him about the Y2K conundrum and how they were fearing the year 2000. Now, Subhash, having worked with Indians, knew their capability of fixing this problem. Together with his desire to give back to the country of his birth and the country that educated him, he thought of starting KMG. Now, he did not want to quit IBM because Gauri was just born, but behind the scenes, his mind was working on how to get things started. Then finally, in 1990, he decided to quit IBM.
So the year is 1990, he's quit IBM, you've got a new baby.
And Subhash started KMG from Gauri's bedroom on a desk that he built himself. But the saying goes that hard work alone does not work. Fate has to intervene. He got a call from Dan Dulcetti at Wheatley Insurance, and for the next 10 years, that was KMG's biggest client. Subhash at that time divided his time between his baby in New York, Gauri, and his baby KMG in Bangalore, but then the IT capital of the world, of the country. Fate again played a part because looking back at records, we see that his first KMG account was opened in Bangalore on Dhanteras. Fate again.
Dad's famous philosophy, do what you love and the money will follow, dictated what came next.
That was so true. Subhash believed that if there is a demand in the market and you fill that demand, then things fall in place. In opening KMG and working with it, he fulfilled 3 of his desires: start a business, gain financial independence, and help India.
The country that raised him, the country that brought him to this point.
Yes, all true.
It's really incredible how such a global vision started out in my bedroom. I really love how he always brought together practicality and passion, not just pursuing his dreams, but building it step by step. But leaving IBM and starting KMG must have been a huge leap. Wasn't it scary, exciting?
Well, quitting IBM was scary in itself. But Subhash had a vision. He believed it would work. When he quit IBM, his bosses said that, if it doesn't work, you can always come back. And he said to me, I never believed it would not work. That was SCB's chutzpah. Always believe, always carry through. That's what got him where he was.
Wasn't he scared?
No, I don't think scare existed in his vocabulary. He was excited, energized, passionate, and driven. He always said, let's paint a picture. And like Da Vinci, he would paint line by line, stroke by stroke, and then blur the lines that didn't exist.
But weren't you scared? What if this didn't work out?
No, I wasn't really scared. I knew Subhash's potential as an inspirator, as a leader. And I always felt that if it didn't work, he could always find another job. He always said his second job would have been a stock market trader. Well,
on Wall Street.
On Wall Street, so that's what he would have done.
So let's talk about some of that early buzz and chaos when KMG first started. Our home must have been crazy. A house, an office. What was that like?
The word organized chaos described our home then. Subhash was a perennial salesperson. He could sell sand on the beach. And he always said selling started when the client said no.
Before that,
it was
just
only
a delivery.
Yeah. So when Subhash got his first contract with Dan Dolcetti
At Wheatley.
he realized that the H-1B visas that come from India, because of a culture shock, they may not do well on an interview. So he said to Dan and a lot of his other clients, listen, I know my people can do an amazing job. Put them on a trial. If in 2 weeks you don't like their work, then you don't have to pay me. And that's how 90% of his business and his employees worked in the first 2 to 3 years of KMG.
So through all this in the early days, how did Dad manage home and business at the same time?
Well, Subhash worked 24/7. He would go to work, come home, take Gauri to the beach, take a shower, go back to work. That's how he worked months and months. When our first H-1B visas came, we housed them in our own home. We built a cottage in our home,
In the backyard.
In the backyard, and that's where the people stayed. And they would eat with us, and Gauri thought every household had all these people around them all the time. Then after about a year of this, Subhash started to rent guest houses. That was a very cumbersome project. He would have to get the guest houses, he would have to equip them, set them up. And at one time, Subhash had in New York 7 telephones and 7 electric bills under his name, except of course the one at home, because that was in my name. Now,
we used to go grocery shopping together.
Yes, Subhash on Saturdays used to put Gauri in the car. Gauri was like 3 years old. And they would pick up the H1 employees, take them grocery shopping. While they grocery shopped, Subhash would sit with you in the car.
Yeah. Listening to Raj Kapoor.
Yeah, listen to Indian songs. You were perhaps the only child who knew Raj Kapoor's, Juta Hai Japani.
Yeah.
So that's what started. He would carry furniture by himself. One time, the mattress that he had tied to the top of his car flew on the highway. Well, that was the last time Subhash carried furniture himself.
And that was the beginning of his, you should pay people to do things that they know how to do better than you.
Yes.
Attitude
absolutely.
of life.
Yep, that's it.
That balance of family and business is so special, and honestly, it speaks to why KMG is more than just a company. It is a family. Thank you for tuning in this week. Next week, my mom will be back for us to discuss more about Dad's other passions in life, especially about giving back to the country that shaped him into the man that he was and inspired him to create KMG. Thank you for this week.